Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron. Welcome back to my Winter 2020 box office predictions. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. And with so many people talking about the Sonic movie, it's very easy to forget that some other movies came out this weekend as well. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about the three movies that are opening in Sonic's shadow. If you're a Sonic fan, you'll get that reference. And no, it's not a spoiler. So the first movie we gotta talk about is Downhill, which is just the perfect title to describe this movie. So yeah, we're gonna be going over the pros and cons for Downhill. So let's just get this over with. Pros. Well, our two leads here, you got Will Ferrell. You all probably know who he is. He's had plenty of hits in the past. I mean, there was Elf, there was Anchorman, there was Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory, Step Brothers, the other guys, The Campaign, Anchorman 2, Get Hard. All those movies were hits. So he has a very decent track record. And you got Julia Louis Dreyfus. You know, she was in Seinfeld, which is considered the greatest show of all time. So nothing more needs to be said. So yeah, these two actors, they have their fans and they're very well known. So I mean, that could help, maybe. Although I've seen plenty of times in the past where star power doesn't help, so it could work or it won't. It's kind of up in the air. So that's the first pro. Second pro is that because it's Valentine's Day weekend, right? And on the surface, this movie, it's about a relationship. So I can see people being tricked into seeing it because they're like, oh, this is probably going to be some lighthearted comedy, romantic comedy with, Will Ferrell and Julia Louis Dreyfus. Sorry, I'm butchering her name. I mean, some people might think that, but I don't think too many people are going to be going for that bait for reasons I'll explain when we get to the cons. And let's get to the cons. I bet none of you have heard about this movie at all because it's got zero publicity. Like on YouTube, I've seen no ads. I've seen plenty of ads for Sonic, Fantasy Island, even the Photograph got a few ads. Downhill has gotten nothing, no publicity at all. So yeah, I bet not. Yeah, I guess again, I bet none of you have even heard about this movie. So that's the first con. Second con, this movie is a black comedy, and those aren't exactly popular at the multiplex. Because when it comes to comedies, usually the type of comedy that works is the lighthearted comedy where it makes you laugh. You can have fun watching it. I mean, that's what Sonic the Hedgehog is, because that movie was marketed as a light-hearted comedy, so that's a lot. So it's going to be a lot more appealing. This, on the other hand, is a black comedy where they take a serious subject matter and try to make it funny-ish, but a lot of the times it just doesn't work. I mean, I think the only time it's really worked was Horrible Bosses, and that's because it had a relatable plot, a relatable premise. This doesn't have a super duper relatable premise, so yeah. And also, Horrible Bosses had a much better cast. It was released in a time where comedies were just big, back in 2011, and it had a summer release date too. So yeah. That's the second con, is that it's a black comedy, and those don't sell very well. Alright, third con is that this is from, well, originally Fox Searchlight Pictures, but now they're called Searchlight Pictures because, Disney bought Fox and they changed the name, so Fox is now dead, which is a shame. But, yeah, you can tell this is a movie that they just didn't care about. They just wanted to dump. They're just like, what do we do with this thing? Just throw it out on Valentine's Day. It might make $1 or $2. I'm betting right now that was their thought process when it came to this movie. So that's another con. Fourth con is that the reviews aren't very good. They're like in the 40s, but what's really gonna hurt is the audience reviews. Now, there has the cinema score is not up yet. It won't be up yet for a couple hours. But from what I've heard from audiences, like audience reviews, like verified reviews, the word of mouth is just atrocious because a lot of people were expecting this to be a comedy, and all they got was basically a couple about to just go on full on divorce. And a lot of people, some people even walked out of this movie. I heard. So yeah, word of mouth is going to be extremely bad, very toxic for this movie. And I can, sorry, I, God, I can see this movie getting like a D cinema score, somewhere in the D range, judging by what I've heard. So yeah, that's bad. And I think that another con is that Will Ferrell, his career has really gone down the toilet in the past few years. I mean, some of his last few movies, what did he have? There was The House. Nobody cared about that movie. Yeah, there was The House, and let me look at his filmography. Oh, Daddy's Home. I forgot about those. Those were hits. And Megamind was a hit too. How can I forget? Let me look at this. Oh my God, Holmes and Watson. Anyone remember that? That monstrosity of a movie. I never saw it. I never wanted to see it, and no one else saw it either. It was one of the worst received movies of 2018, easily. It's considered. I think some people consider that movie as one of the worst comedies ever. So, yeah, that's not good. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she doesn't have a lot of movies to her name, so I don't think she's gonna draw that many people into the theater. So yeah, this movie's doomed. It's toast. It's finished, dead, and no one will ever hear from it again. So opening weekend. Now this movie's coming out in like limited release. It's not like a super wide release. It's like I forgot, like less than 2,000 I think theaters. So opening weekend, because it's a holiday, it's gonna be a little complicated. I have to have a 3-day and a 4-day. So 3-day, I'm going to say 5 million. 4-day, I'm going to say 6, because Friday is Valentine's Day. A lot of movies are going to be extremely front loaded, and then they're just going to just bleed out over the rest of the weekend. So yeah, and overall probably reach, I don't know, 15 million maybe even lower if word of mouth is truly horrific. But yeah, that's it for Downhill. Next up, what do we got next? Oh boy, Fantasy Island. I can't wait to talk about that movie. And then there's The Photograph. And then we're done for Valentine's Day. And then the rest of February is weak, man. It is just dead. We got Bram's The Boy 2, Call of the Wild, and then we got Emma and The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man has potential. I can see that doing well. Everything else, forget about it. So, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. I want to go check out some of my other predictions. I have my Winter 2020 prediction playlist on the homepage. Got my Holiday 2019 prediction playlist. Got my box office recaps. I know I still got to do January. That's coming very soon. After I finish Fantasy Island Photograph, I'll have my January recap video. And that's it. That's all. I am out.